Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the BassBlaster, and this is your Seafoam Kistler Top 5 of the Week in Bass Fishing, number 1. Back at the 2017 Bassmaster Classic, Z-Man and Japanese bait brand Evergreen introduced what we now know is the chatterbait JackHammer to the world. Since then, the JackHammer has become the number 1 bladed jig in high-level tournaments. Now, 8 years later, at the 2025 Classic, the same two companies, Z-Man and Evergreen, outed a brand new version of the JackHammer that was created in mad scientist fashion by the same two pros who created the OG JackHammer, and that's Brett Hite and Morizo Shimizu. The new JackHammer is smaller, that's the deal, and it's called the Baby Jack. Here's the details on it from the last top 5 tips, techniques, and trends of the month. Comes in a half, 3/8, and now a quarter, which B Height says is great for waking over grass. It hits as hard, almost as hard anyway, as a regular JackHammer, just at a different frequency. The head is smaller with some weight down the shank to keep it from blowing out when you're really burning it, and it has a custom decoy hook. Now, if you're wondering what to put on the back of that, yeah, on the back of that bad little doggy, well, Yamamoto coincidentally came out with the new Yamamoto Slim Zaco. Here's Brett Hite talking about it.
3.5-inch Zaco Slim. It's a bait that I designed. You can tell the difference between the original. A little bit smaller belly, a little bit more streamlined. Really good on that baby jack or finesse chatterbaits.
Man, I don't know about you, but with that baby jack, I'm like,
I'll take them all.
Save at least 10 for me, Mando. Number 2. After Kyoyo Fujita and Easton Fothergill diced their way onto the national bassin scene over the last couple years, and then a couple guys in the last few Elite and Bass Pro Tour events of 2024 had good finishes with homemade dice type baits, all of a sudden little pieces of plastic with skirt strands put through them got taken seriously. So seriously that there were all kind of rumors that American bait companies were going to roll out some dice type stuff this year. And at the Classic Expo, that rollout started. Now, the most dice-like bait that I saw is the new Strike King Tumbleweed.
I am a simple tumbleweed.
Nah, not that kind of tumbleweed, this one. Here's former Dangerous Man Jamie Caldwell explaining the details.
The Strike King Tumbleweed. So we just launched this. This is a 12-sided dice bait. It's got 10 strands of skirting material through it, and what's unique about our skirting material is it has these bumps on here. It's like an air trap technology. So when you throw it in the water, it's gonna grab some air. When it's down there the first time it moves, it's gonna release that air to give it more of like a live feeling. Also, because of those bumps that are on there, it makes this bait a little bit more rigid. So the strands aren't easily gonna be able to pull out, so it's gonna last you even longer. It is 12-sided, you got material through 10 sides, so you have 2 open sides, which are great places for your Nico weight or where you wanna run the hook, and it's gonna be offered in 2 different materials. So it is a salted and an unsalted, which is going to change up that fall rate. So obviously the unsalted, it floats on its own, but it will have that slower fall rate once you put any weight or hook in it. And then the salted version is going to give you that faster fall rate. Strike King Tumbleweed.
Huh, twice as many sides as your normal dice. Could it be twice as good? We'll find out, man. But anyhow, that's really the only true dice-like bait that came out of the Classic. But John Crew's company, Missile Baits, announced that it's coming out with this. That's the Shredder and Shredder Jr. John said he came up with that name because he's a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan.
Shredder!
All right, I have no idea if that's true, but I do know it had something to do with his new haircut. All right. John did say it was inspired by dice baits, even though his deal is obviously not a skirt strand bait. And he said it will have more action than your typical dice bait, which is really no surprise because, believe it or not, dice baits had no action. Either way, get ready for more Dice Baby, number 3.
Yo, man, let's get out of here.
All right, as you probably know, one trend in the sling it and ping it era we're in is jig heads that make your bait roll. So far, we've seen a few jig heads that help make that happen, like the Queen Tackle LS Rollin' Strollin' jig head with the Crazy Genius line tie on the back of the head and the Renault Tackle Minnow helmet.
That is wild and wacky stuff.
Yes, it is, but we ain't done yet. Those jig heads are cool and work, but the easiest way to make your jig head roll might be with a split ring, like such. That's the new Biz Baits ring roller, which has a welded split ring, which apparently is key. Your normal split ring just won't work the same. Now here's how it looks in the water, and by that you can see it works. John Cruz said at the Classic Expo that Missile Baits is coming out with one too. But it should be mentioned that Elite Pro Austin Powers...
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin Felix, he came out with his signature Tree Shaker Dream Stroller jig head last year. So I guess he's the first to have a jig head with a welded split ring. Now it seems like the differences between these heads is going to boil down to the head shape and the hook type. You'll have to see which ones you like best, and bear in mind, these jig heads aren't just for pinging minnows. Check this out. Look at how that head rolls and makes that whole swim bait roll. I actually want to fish these jig heads with a swim worm, a curl tail grub, and who knows what else. Anyhow, try these out and get to... When Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour Pro David Dudley grabbed me at the Bassmaster Classic Expo and showed me this deal, which, by the way, is made in South Africa, just like the new boat David's running. Anyhow, when he showed me this DEX Organizer thing, I was like, wow. Like, wow, I never thought of that, and wow, I really need that. To show you what I mean, well, videos are worth at least 2,000 words, so here's the first one. That's pretty amazing, right? Now here's the second one. Pretty cool, huh? A few more facts. First, it's made of the same EVA decking material that C-Deck and that kind of stuff is made from, so heat and chipping should be non-factors. Second, it's supposed to last for years, which you would expect with EVA. And third, it apparently can be glued to boat carpet with some variety of the glue used for carpet decals. Well, the way I see it is basically what you saw in those videos. Like, you get a bunch of your deck space back, and your rods don't cross over one another and get tangled up every time you open the rod box. But if you're the kind of guy who just wants to throw down a rod, or you trip over stuff and tend to fall head first, this might not be your deal. David did say that he still uses a rod strap when he's running. Their website is DEXorganizer.com. I think they're going to sell for $600 each, $1,200 a pair, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. Personally, I want to try them out.
Deck 5.
That's right, Captain. Number 5. I gotta say that fish mounts were probably the absolute last thing I expected to be wowed by at the Bassmaster Classic Expo. I mean, the good ones are amazing. They're beautiful, and we all know that. But then I ran across this deal at Onum Robertson's booth, and I was like, whoa, that is cool. It's basically a photo with 3D fish that pop out of it, and however good you think it looks in that pic, or this one, or this one.
It's incredible.
Yep, and it looks way better in person. Here's Matt explaining it.
It's a 3D replica. It's like a mount, but better. Check this out. It's a picture where the fish pop out of the picture. It is 3D. It's the new coolest thing. PictureMe3D.com if you want to check it out online. Listen, no more getting mounts. Mounts are out. This is what's in.
To me, these are the biggest things about this deal. It looks really cool, and yes, the fish look real. It's not just a fish mount, it's a memory mount, meaning it does not have to be a personal best or giant fish or whatever. It does cost less than a mount or replica mount, but it ain't cheap. Also, apparently it's signed quality, so it won't or shouldn't fade in the sun. Now, in case you think Matt is going to be pounding these things out in his shed, nope, the company's actually owned by a Maine bass head named Tony, I think it's Gallardi. I'm sorry, Tony, I got one of those right, I guess. Now, Tony runs a plastics company, which is how he got this idea. That means like other plastics other than fishing plastics. Anyhow, can you see one of these things on your wall? Man, I can see at least one on mine. Now I just got to catch a fish worthy of it.
Good luck with that.
Hey, easy there, 007. I don't see any big fish in your movies. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Seafoam and Kistler. See you next week. God bless you.